Hi, my name is Jamie McLean and welcome to my series of videos on product management. In this first sequence of videos, we'll be talking about innovation techniques. So in the last video, we were talking about what is innovation, spontaneous ideation, and why you might want some techniques to help you with that innovation ideation. And in this video, I'm going to cover problem solving. Again, a care point that there's too much to cover here in a short video. This is just an introduction, so please do your own research and check with an expert. So the first question is, can innovation be problem solving? So let's take the example of Netflix. Before Netflix existed, you could go to see a movie at the cinema, you could go and buy a movie in a DVD shop or rent a movie from a video store or watch a movie on TV. And at the beginning, Netflix was really competing with video rental stores like Blockbuster. And when we look at it, yeah, there were plenty of problems there that they could overcome. So you had to physically travel to go and rent or buy a movie or watch a movie. There was a limited choice, and maybe the price was expensive. So absolutely, Netflix were really solving quite a lot of problems when they launched their service. So absolutely, innovation ideation can be problem solving, and I would say usually that's what innovation ideation is used for, problem solving. The good thing about problem solving is there are many well-defined processes based on real examples that we can use as tools for this problem solving. And the good thing about well-defined processes and real examples is engineers respond very well to those. So these are great tools for engineers, and many of these are used in engineering. So the first one I want to talk about is Triz. Triz is a Russian acronym, but in English it means the theory of inventive problem solving. It was created in 1946 by a gentleman who was analyzing thousands and thousands of patents. And his idea was that every solution, every problem solved has actually been solved in a similar way. So if you look at enough patents, you will find many, many similar ways of solving problems, and from that you can get hints on how to solve your problem. So the system that he devised is to look at whatever your problem is, how does it change in time, how does it change in space, and then reference that big, huge analysis of patents to look at what are the known problems and what are the known solutions for those problems. And by doing those activities, you can then figure out what your solution could be. And he came up with this matrix of 39 common contradictions and 40 inventive principles. So you can go online and have a look at Triz and see some of those ideas and methods. So this is very good for physical engineering especially. Another solution is Kepner-Tregoe, or KT. So Kepner-Tregoe was created around about the same time as Triz by two doctors, Dr. Kepner and Dr. Tregoe. And they were looking at, instead of solving physical problems, they were looking at decision-making problems. So specifically, they were looking at US military strategic decision-making. And from their analysis, they wrote a book, a very famous book, called The Rational Manager. And they decided that there were 4 steps to resolving a problem with making a decision. So what you had to do is you had to deeply understand and categorize the situation, deeply understand and categorize the problem, deeply understand and categorize the decision, and then you could deeply understand and categorize the opportunity or the potential problems with your decision. And from that, you can make a good decision. So that can be used not just for decision making, but also for any problem that you have. And one of the tools that comes out of this that's quite useful and quite recognizable, especially by mechanics, anyone who's worked on their own car, especially older cars, is if you have a petrol car from before 1990 and the engine won't start, really there's only 3 possible problems there can be. And what you do is you check each one and you say, is it this or is it not this? And if it's not, then you go on to the next one. So you check, does it have fuel? Does it have air? Is there a spark? And from that simple analysis, you can decide what the problem is. So that's one of the basic tools that Kepner-Tregoe uses. And Kepner-Tregoe now has software tools, and they have a consultancy to help people overcome their problems. Additionally, there are other engineering tools and resources you can use. So FMEA is failure modes and effects analysis. This is effectively like a big matrix that's come up by a group of engineers to look at all the possible ways that something could break or fail. So this looks at everything that could possibly go wrong and then categorizes it, and then you can look for which is the most likely, which is the most severe. There's FTA, which is fault tree analysis. This is instead looking down a pathway of you have one thing that has broken or has failed, and why did that happen? So you're looking back at a very specific train of thoughts, train of activities. There's the 5 whys questioning. 5 whys questioning is very simply just asking why 5 times. So why did you get up this morning? Because my alarm went off. Why did your alarm go off? Because I set my alarm. Why did you set your alarm? And you keep going until you get to the root of why. And there's also fishbone Ishikawa diagrams. These are similar to FMEA in that you have lots of different trees of possible causes, and at the end you have a problem. So it's again looking at all the possible ways, or what is the root cause of a problem. So another question is, are all ideas problem solving? So we can see that many problems can be solved with this kind of innovation ideation techniques, but is that true for everything? So a good example is supermarket candy. So when you go to buy supermarket candy, actually before you buy it, you've already arrived at the checkout. You already have all of your planned purchases. So everything you wanted to do has already been done. This is an opportunistic situation. And you have to ask yourself, what would be the problem that you're solving here? So are you hungry? Are you bored? Do you need energy? Well, probably no. Probably you're perfectly happy, and then you just take the opportunity to buy some chocolate because you like it. And that's very indicative of a situation where, any situation where you get enjoyment, art or recreation, anything like this, rather than solving a problem, a product or a service can be a positive and potentially unexpected, beneficial situation. So in the next video, we'll be looking at customer-focused techniques for situations that aren't problem solving. Thank you.